I trained all my life as a ballet dancer, so when you train in something that specific, you just sort of have tunnel vision. So that's all I did from the age of 4 after following my sister into the studio. Just intensive training, you know, summers were spent, intensive programs, no sun, no fun, that kind of thing. I turned professional when I was 18 or 17, 18, and I had a short but fantastic career that ended with an injury in late 2005. So at that point, I needed to regroup and look at my options for moving on. So I didn't have any college education to sort of back me up. I turned professional right out of high school, so I was just sort of thinking about what interests I had that I could develop on. So I was lucky enough to attend French pastry school, which is where I was living at the time in Chicago, and it's a fantastic program. So I had just a brief, 2-week session on wedding cakes and really felt like I had found a niche. I think that there are a lot of similarities between being a dancer and having any other artistic expression, so it doesn't necessarily have to be cake decorator or designer. I think my passion for cake design, I like to pull things from things that are completely unrelated to cake. I think cake in particular is something, unlike a piece of artwork that might hang on your wall, there's always this notion of like, this looks like a piece of art, but then I'm actually going to be eating it. And I think that there's also something, a lot of our memories from childhood are tied to food. We remember the smell of cake baking in your oven. You remember your birthday parties that your mom or your dad decorated for you. So those are really tied to your emotions. So I think people do become emotional about cake in that way. I love to teach. I did a little teaching when I was a ballet dancer as well. So that's really fulfilling to me. So I think that I would be teaching more in the future, trying to reach students in various parts of the world and see what new styles are coming up. And I feel like I've only scratched the surface design-wise, so I'm looking forward to new things in the future design-wise. I think I would just really encourage the students to this is a lesson, this is a work in progress. Before you can sort of express yourself artistically, you really need a solid foundation. So maybe you're not going to have the exact same cake that I created, but I think that you will get a really good feel for the frilling technique. You will learn how to execute the sugar flowers. I will say we hold workshops at our studio in Old Town Alexandria, and I have had old lady neighbor from down the street, and I've had competitive cake decorator from my city sitting side by side executing the sugar flower. So just as is what's in our lesson about making the rose and frilling and all sorts of stuff, we go through the same steps in our studio, and really the results, they all look slightly different, but they're all beautiful and they're all unique to each person. And I would encourage people just to give yourself that freedom to make it your own. Don't place the flowers exactly the way I place them. Feel free to put your own style to it.